Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. This was supposed to be a video about taking the interior out and trying to fit a carpet and some seat belts in this car. It's not going to though, because I actually drove this on a private stretch of road and it's running really nicely now. But then after a while it stopped running nicely and I'm back to having some drivability issues again. And I know what it is. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And I think a lot of you also know what it is. Because I have been fixing a lot of stuff, but one thing I never did was to clean out the fuel tank. I had an idea that I could maybe just run it for a bit and flush it through, and maybe that would actually be possible if I started up this car now and drove it for 100 kilometers in one go or something like that, then maybe that would work. But the fuel filter is pretty clogged up already, so there's no going around the fact that I need to clean out the fuel tank. I don't think it's rust. It's some kind of gooey, rusty looking stuff that's in there, so I think it's going to be easy to clean at least, but it needs to be cleaned. Take a look at the brand new filter that I put in a month back or something like that. It is full of crap down there. And this is exactly the kind of crap that just clogs up a carb really easy. And yeah, it's not good. I need to clean this out because it will just keep on becoming a problem. And I would really like this car to run nice. The good thing was, it was really running nice when it was cleaned out. So it's just a matter of cleaning the stuff out again and cleaning that tank out and then giving the carb a quick clean once again. And yeah, as you can see, I have other problems down here. I have a new gasket on its way for the valve cover because the other one that I made myself is too thin, I'm pretty sure of, so I need to fix that. So, and also there is a kink on this hose that is not ideal. But not today. Today it's about the fuel tank. Yeah, there's supposed to be a button here. I don't actually know if I got it. I think it's maybe in the bucket down here. But anyway, it's about the fuel tank, which is lying in there. I don't have to go underneath the car to do this job, so that's really nice. As you can see, everything looks really clean and nice. I never seen a purple fuel line like that before, but I do think that it could be the original one. I don't know. Also take a look at the clips and all that. It's just looking so incredibly nice. What I'm going to do is to set you up on a stand and then make a quick time lapse where I just rip this tank out. It's not going to be a lot of work, I think. So see you in a bit. One fuel tank out of the car. Woo! And fuel. There's a lot of fuel in this. I wonder if I can get this to work. Yeah, I think I'm gonna soak it in some kind of citric acid to begin with and then try to give it a go in the sonic cleaner. Maybe just directly into the sonic cleaner actually. Yeah, the tank is slightly worse than I had hoped actually. It's not that bad down there. But on the higher part of the tank, where fuel really rarely goes, there's a lot of rusty flakes. You do get better down there. And the fuel down there is rank. So I don't really know how to go about this other than maybe filling it with citric acid. I think that would be the way to go, actually. Yeah. That's not gonna work. Jesus Christ, that's crappy. Take a look at the sediment after I emptied out the fuel. This crap will just make the car run bad forever. Well, this is difficult. It's really a lot worse than I thought. I have gotten a lot of the rusty crap out of it, so it's not a complete maracas anymore. As you can see, there's a lot of rusty scales right there. I'm gonna fill it up with citric acid and water and let it sit for a couple of days and then just hope that will help. Okay, so it's been, I think, 3 or 4 days since I discovered how much crap was in this fuel tank. I haven't filmed much of the process, but I will tell you what I have been doing. I have been filling it with petrol and shaking it a bit and then emptying it out to get all the crap out. I think I got pretty much half a bucket of rusty flakes and crap out of this fuel tank. Quite a lot, especially considering how good condition it actually is in. There's just a lot of rusty scales and all that. So a lot of that stuff came out. Then what I did was I filled the entire fuel tank with hot water. It's around 45 liters, I think, 40 liters at least. And then I put in around 1 kilo of citric acid. Then I plugged all the holes and let it sit for 3 or 4 days or something like that. Each and every time I walked past it, I gave it a shake. And today I emptied it completely out again, flushed it with a lot of clean water. You could actually neutralize the acid, but I'm pretty sure it's not necessary with the citric acid and the amounts, because really the solution I made is really weak. I think you should have at least a couple of kilos when it's this tank, especially if you want it to be quick. But it has made a huge difference. I'm going to show you the result, but it's not perfect. Keeping in tune with my channel, this is one of those things where it's not perfect, but it's going to be good enough. Because with a filter, and maybe even 2 of them, this will work just fine. You will see some rust down there, but it's not at all as bad as it was before, because before it would just clog up one of those inline filters within a week or so. Another thing, I took out the center unit. After I put the center unit back in, when I put that acid bath in here, and when I took it out, it actually loosened up and is moving freely. Then I measured it with my DVOM, and it showed that it was actually changing according to the float height. So I think it's working. Then I actually put it into my my sandblaster cabinet with glass beads at really low pressure, and then I cleaned it up a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. As you can see, it is now not looking as crappy as before. It's a bit difficult to show you because of the lighting, but it's a lot better. I haven't cleaned a lot inside of here because I didn't want to damage anything, but it's moving freely and seems to be fine. So let me show you the fuel tank. After flushing it out with a lot of water, I rigged up a smaller contraption using my vacuum. I put that into blow mode, and then I just blow a lot of air through that fuel tank for quite a long time to dry it out completely. Then I filled in a couple of liters of fuel mixed with 2-stroke oil, maybe around 20 or 30%. So that's a lot of oil. Then I sloshed it around a lot and empty it out again, because all those areas where rust has formed and the protective coating is gone, the citric acid will have removed everything, and it will be very, very prone to rusting really quickly. So that oil should prevent it. The best thing is to fill it up with some fuel really quickly. But let's take a look inside of here. You can see the edge out here is still a bit rusty because it's not been treated. But inside of there, it is looking a lot better. It's really a big difference. It is, as I told you, not perfect, but it is really clean down there now, comparing it to before. Over here, this was also a really bad area. And it still is not looking too perfect, but take a look at the bottom down there. This is gonna work just fine. Maybe some kind of treatment with some more aggressive acids would have done the job a bit better, but I think this will be just fine, especially with a good quality inline filter. Maybe change it from time to time. There is still some small particles, but it won't at all be as bad as before. The fuel I took out of this, around 10 liters actually, was completely muddy. So I think I can fit this fuel tank back to the Datsun, and then it should be good to go. So the fuel tank is now back in the boot of the Datsun. I just wanted to show you how clean stuff is down here when it comes to the fitting hardware and all that. Really looks nice. That being said, this car has been rusty at some point. As you can see, there has been a lot of welding done on this car in the past. This down here looks rusty, but it's just surface, but you can see patches behind that as well. I need to treat that. But all in all, it looks really nice considering what this is, because this is a car that really no longer should exist in my climate. The fuel tank is now empty. Ignition is on. The fuel tank is reading just below the E. I'm gonna fill in some fuel. I only think I have 5 liters, maybe 7 or something like that. So I don't know if it's going to show, but I'm gonna try to fill it up and see if it moves. Because if that moves, then we have fixed something, because that didn't work before. There we go. Did it move in there? I think I put around 7 liters in now. I can't tell, but I think it moved a little bit. It's not supposed to move a whole lot because it's down low, really low. And also it's a 45 liters tank, I think. I only put in around 7. I am pretty sure. Yeah, it's working. How nice is that? So we fixed something at least. And because it took a couple of days with the cleaning of the tank, I actually needed the space in here for something else. So I rigged up my small fuel tank right there with a pipe going straight to the fuel pump. And actually, just by doing that, the engine was running so nice. So the right thing to do right now would be to clean the carb once again, and even the fuel pump. But because it's running pretty much perfect right now, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So I'm just going to hook it up with a new filter. And if it starts stumbling again, then maybe I'm just going to clean the carb out real quick. So what I'm going to do now is to bin that really disgusting fuel filter down here. As you can see, it's almost not possible to look through that fuel down there. It's really nasty. So I'm just going to remove that. And then I'm going to suck a little bit of the old fuel out of the line just to make sure that we get nice and clean fuel through it. And then put in a new inline filter. I got one of these filters on its way, it's in the mail, but until then I'm just going to fit a generic filter to the pump. Nice crystal clear fuel is coming through the new filter. This was a bit of a deroute. I didn't think that this was necessary because I was pretty sure that the fuel tank wasn't that bad, as I showed you in a previous video, but it was completely full of crap. Whew. Anyway, another video on the Datsun. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.